two more identities here. We've got coterminal identities. This is working off the fact of how sine and cosine are related. So if you think about the sine curve, okay, so the sine curve starts at the origin, comes down, and then comes back, and we make a full cycle, okay? So if I take this and I copy it, okay, there, copy it again, get this right here. That is the sine curve. So y equals the sine of x. Now cosine, okay, cosine is a little bit different, but it's really not that much different, okay? It starts at 1, and then it works its way down. And so it works its way down, and then it works its way back up, just like this, okay? And so I'm going to try to duplicate this here, duplicate, and let me try one more time to duplicate, just like that. Now, if I do a little highlight on this curve right here, this is the cosine, okay? That's the cosine curve. So this is y equals the cosine of x. Now guess what would happen if I take this little highlighted part and I just shift it, okay? Look, now I didn't draw it perfectly. If I had done a little better job on it perfectly, it'd line up perfectly with that black curve, okay? And so as you can see here, if I just do a horizontal shift, I get the sine curve from the cosine, okay? So what is that shift that we're doing? That shift is pi over 2, okay? So if we take it and we shift it a pi over 2, then we get to the cosine becomes the sine. And so that's what's really going on here graphically. Now, analytically, we can use the cosine difference formula. So the difference of two angles, this is equal to the cosine of pi over 2 times the cosine of theta plus the sine of pi over 2 times the sine of theta. Well, the cosine of pi over 2 is 0. 0 times cosine theta is 0. And then the sine of pi over 2 is 1 times the sine of theta. So this is just equal to the sine of theta, which is what we wanted, right? The next one, I can use the I can use the sine rule. And so if I take the sine of pi over 2 minus theta here, okay? And I use the formula I just had, okay? So what is the formula I just had? Well, it says the sine of theta is equal to pi over 2 minus theta, cosine of that. So this is going to be the cosine of pi over 2 minus that theta. That theta is everything that's in there. Pi over 2 minus theta. So what does that equal? That equals cosine pi over 2 minus pi over 2, and then minus and minus means plus, and so this equals the cosine of theta, okay? So a little bit of trickery there. We can work both ways with that formula, okay?